Welcome to the Mario Perspective USA show. Today we're going to talk about all these protests that are going on in our country that the Democrats have permitted. And they have permitted it because they're just way too left to the left. They're just too much to the left. And this happens because they want to say everything's okay. Well, it's come back to bite them in the ass. These protests about the American policy worldwide against people who have attacked Israel is wrong. Israel has always been our biggest friend, our biggest ally, and people that we protect. We protect Israel since 1948, that establishes a country. Now, all these new people that have arrived in the United States in the last 30 years that are Muslims and want to go pro Palestine don't understand who we are as a country. We are a country of laws. We are a country of immigrants, yes, but we're also a country of Christians. We are a country of Christians, and they don't understand that. I've said in other shows, the people that were brought here as slaves a century and a half ago were sent to church. That's why the black community is Christian. They were sent by the slave owners to church. Why? Because that's the way this country thinks. Our country is a Christian country. And now the people that are coming from Asia and from the Middle East are not Christians. And we're beginning to have a problem. They feel they have the right, and they do have the right because our Constitution lets them. But this is because the Democrats have done so many mistakes. And this starts with LBJ, who signed the immigration law that permits people from Asia and other parts of the country to come to the United States. That happened in the 60s and it went into effect in 1970. Before that, we were a country mainly of Christians. I don't care if you're a Protestant, I don't care if you're a Catholic. But today, we have these protests against our countries, and we have representatives who stand up and fly Palestine flag, which is an enemy of the United States because it's an enemy of Israel. They want to think, well, they think Israel does not exist. What kind of people are these people? Now, we all know that Israel has had wars with these neighbors for centuries. This is not nothing new. But we need to understand that we cannot just look the other way. We will protect Israel no matter what. People can say whatever they want. The United States of America is the most noble country in the world. But it's going to shits lately. It's going to the dump. And it's all because of the Democrats. And yes, I voted for Biden. My biggest mistake of my life. Today, I want Trump to win, even though they're giving him a lot of BS, a lot of garbage, all these lawsuits and all these things that are against Trump because they don't want him to be president of the United States. Why? Why not have Trump as president? We were better off 4 years ago. We were scot-free of importing oil. Jobs are great. I mean, what does the American people want? My perspective is always from the Hispanic point of view because I'm Hispanic. And yes, my state of California is going to the shits. That's why I'm in Arizona now. Why? Because California is not the California I grew up in the 60s and 70s. No. It's a state that There's too much homeless, and it's okay. There's people stealing, and it's okay. And petty theft, it's all right. It's no big deal. See, what happened to California? It was the Golden State. Today's the garbage state. It really is the garbage state. Housing is way out of line. But see, if you have a business and these people come in and they rip your merchandise and nothing happens, there's something wrong. Gavin Newsom as a governor is a very bad governor. They want to talk about gays and trans and people like that. Why don't they talk about the real issues, the real problems? Problems like all the robberies that are going on, all the crime, okay? The open borders. Now, people say, well, a lot of Hispanics are coming through the open borders. No, a lot of Chinese are coming. A lot of Middle Easterns are coming. A lot of Indians are coming. A lot of terrorists are coming. A lot of bad people are coming. Okay? And the United States has to find a way to go back and have law and order. Law and order is the backbone of our country. There's too much crime. And not just in California, but in Chicago, Baltimore, New York City. It's becoming to be a very dangerous country. But when you have no laws or you have no people standing up, there's a problem. We need to go back to our basics. We need to go back to law and order. There's a lot of divisions. Yeah. And they try to cover everything up with sports, you know. Everybody wants to watch CNN and Fox News and the NFL channel because that's the way to talk about everything except the problems that we're living through. Well, they're not going to get better. And Biden is a thief. He's abused his power when he was vice president, when he was this, when he was that. And now as president, he's innocent. But if you say Trump had documents in Florida, what about Biden? He had documents in his goddamn garage. At least Trump locked them up, had them in a safe. What is going on with our country? We're too much into sports because they want to blindfold us. And the NFL leaves a lot to be desired. The last couple of halftime shows, they're all black. Yeah, the Eminem was one on one of the shows, halftime shows. But why? Why does it have to be the way the Democrats want? I still cannot get over when Biden put a justice in the Supreme Court and he said it's got to be a black woman. That's discrimination. Imagine if Tesla says the CEO that's going to run this next period, this company has to be a black man. That's discrimination. A private company could never do that. The government should not ever do that. So, what is going on in our country? Why are we losing our essence of Americans? We need to vote for Trump. Elon Musk is right. He was once a full-grown Democrat. But it doesn't work. It's not working. It's not going to work. We need to take care of our borders. We need to take care of our people. We need to stop all these people having these little tents everywhere. And it starts by having pride and make people work. Work is good. But you got to stop the flow of drugs. You got to stop. See, they want drugs in our country so they can control people. Dumb people who are always on drugs are easily to control. But that's evil. We must stop the evilness that is going on in our country. If we don't do that, we're not going to have a United States of America. It's time we change and go back to basics. And again, talk about God. Talk about God who's blessed our country all these years since we became a country. But we need to start by voting for the right guy, and that's Donald Trump. I ask everybody to look themselves in the mirror and say, were you better off 4 years ago? Because I was. I was better off 4 years ago. Inflation is out of hand. And the Democrats say, it's okay. Biden is a bad man. He's too old, he's too stupid, and he's a puppet. We need to get rid of this person.